Hey y'all, welcome back. If you're new here, I'm Jessica. I'm 28 years old, and 5 years ago, I was completely broke. I'm talking negative account balance broke. Overdraft fees on top of overdraft fees broke. Choosing between gas money and groceries broke. And today I'm sitting here financially free, multiple six figures in assets, and I want to tell you exactly how I did it, starting from absolute zero. Because here's what nobody tells you. Starting over financially is actually easier than you think. Not easy, easier. There's a difference. And if you're watching this video right now with $0 or negative dollars, or just feeling like you're stuck in this endless cycle of broke, I need you to understand something. You are not broken. The system is designed to keep you here. But I'm about to show you the exit. So let's talk about how to restart your financial life with absolutely nothing. No savings, no safety net, no rich family to fall back on. Just you, your hustle, and a plan. Let's get into it. First things first, we need to talk about mindset. And I know you're probably rolling your eyes like, here we go with the mindset talk. But listen, when I was broke, I had a broke mindset. I thought rich people were lucky. I thought opportunities just fell into their laps. I thought I was destined to struggle because of where I came from. That mindset kept me broke. Because when you think wealth is about luck, you don't look for opportunities. You don't create them. You just sit around hoping something magical happens. And spoiler alert, it doesn't. The first shift I made was understanding this. Money is a skill. Building wealth is a skill. Just like you can learn to cook, you can learn to make money. Just like you can learn to drive, you can learn to invest. It's not magic. It's not genetics. It's education and execution. Period. So step one when you're at $0. Accept that you're starting from zero, but refuse to accept that zero is where you're staying. Write that down. Zero is your starting point, not your destination. Because the way you think about your situation literally determines what you do about it. Now let's get practical. You've got $0. What do you actually do? Here's what I did. Step one, stop the bleeding. If you're in debt, if you're overdrafting, if you're borrowing from Peter to pay Paul, the first thing you need to do is stop making it worse. I know that sounds obvious, but when I was broke, I was still going out to eat. I was still buying coffee. I was still subscribing to streaming services I barely used. Little things that felt like they didn't matter, but they were literally bleeding me dry. I sat down and wrote out every single expense. Everything. Rent, utilities, phone, subscriptions, food, transportation, everything. Then I circled what was absolutely essential for survival. Rent, food, basic utilities, phone, because you need it to find work. Transportation, if you need it to get to work. Everything else? Gone. Netflix? Canceled. Spotify? Canceled. Those subscription boxes I forgot I even had? Canceled. That gym membership I wasn't using? Canceled. I cut my expenses down to the absolute bare minimum. And yeah, it sucked. But you know what sucked more? Being broke forever. Here's the thing about being at zero. You have nothing to lose. You're already at the bottom. This is actually your advantage. When you have nothing, you can make radical changes that people with comfort can't. You can move somewhere cheaper. You can get a roommate. You can sell stuff you don't need. You have flexibility that people with mortgages and car payments don't have. Use it. Step two. Generate immediate cash. When you're at zero, you can't think long-term yet. You need money now, today, this week. So here's what I did, and here's what you can do. I sold everything I owned that I didn't absolutely need. Clothes I hadn't worn in a year, old electronics, furniture, books, kitchen gadgets, decorations. I went through my entire apartment like I was moving out tomorrow and asked myself, do I need this to survive or make money? If the answer was no, it went on Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, Craigslist, wherever I could sell it. In one weekend, I made $800 selling stuff I didn't even remember I had. $800. That was enough to stop my account from overdrafting and put a little bit of breathing room in my budget. Next, I picked up immediate income gigs. And I'm not talking about waiting for a job posting to respond. I'm talking about money you can make this week. I did DoorDash. I did Instacart. I posted on local Facebook groups offering to help people move, clean their houses, organize their garages, walk their dogs, whatever people needed. Here's what people don't understand about gig work. It's not supposed to be your forever plan. It's your bridge. It's how you survive while you build something better. I was driving for DoorDash in the evenings after my regular job, making an extra $300 to $500 a week. Was it exhausting? Absolutely. Was it necessary? Absolutely. But here's the key. Every single dollar I made from selling stuff and doing gigs didn't go to lifestyle. It went to building. I didn't celebrate with new clothes or a nice dinner. I saved it. I invested it in myself. Which brings me to step 3. Step 3. Build a skill that pays. This is where most people stay stuck. They work gig jobs forever because they never invest in learning something more valuable. But here's the truth. Your time is your most valuable asset when you're broke. And you need to spend some of that time learning skills that pay more than minimum wage. I looked at what skills were in demand and could be learned for free or cheap. Digital marketing, social media management, basic graphic design, copywriting, virtual assistants. These aren't jobs that require expensive degrees. These are skills you can learn on YouTube, on free courses, on platforms like Coursera and Skillshare. I spent every single morning from 6 to 8 a.m. learning social media marketing. Every single morning. Before my regular job, before my gig work, I was investing in my education. And I didn't pay a dime. I used free resources, YouTube tutorials, free trials of courses. I downloaded every free ebook I could find. After 2 months of learning, I posted on Facebook. I'm offering social media management for small businesses. First 3 clients get a 50% discount. I knew I wasn't an expert yet, but I knew more than most small business owners. And guess what? I got 5 responses in the first day. I charged those first clients $300 a month. Was that cheap? Yeah. But I was learning on the job, building my portfolio, and most importantly, I was making $1,200 a month from a skill I taught myself in 2 months. $1,200 that was pure profit because I had no overhead. Within 6 months, I had 10 clients paying me an average of $600 a month. That's $6,000 a month. From a skill I learned for free while I was broke. And I was still doing my regular job. This is how you build. You don't quit your job and hope for the best. You build on the side until your side thing is bigger than your main thing. Step 4. Create a bare bones budget and stick to it like your life depends on it. Here's where people mess up. They start making more money and they immediately inflate their lifestyle. New car, new apartment, new wardrobe, and then they're right back where they started, just with more expensive problems. When I started making that extra $6,000 a month, I didn't move to a nicer place. I didn't buy a new car. I kept living like I was broke because I was building wealth, not showing off fake wealth. There's a huge difference. I created what I call a freedom budget. My essential expenses, rent, food, utilities, transportation, came out first. Then 20% went straight to savings. 20% went to paying off any debt I had. 20% went to investing in my business or my education. And whatever was left over, that was my fun money. And honestly, at first, there wasn't much left over. But that was fine because I had a plan. The key is automation. I set up automatic transfers the day after I got paid. Money went to savings before I could spend it. Money went to debt before I could spend it. I didn't trust myself to do it manually because when you see money in your account, you want to spend it. So I made it impossible for me to mess up my own plan. Step 5. Build your emergency fund before anything else. I know everyone talks about investing. I know crypto and stocks are sexy. But when you're starting from zero, your first goal is stability. And stability means having an emergency fund. My first financial goal was $1,000 in savings. Just $1,000. That was my buffer. That was my, I don't have to panic if my car breaks down money. And let me tell you, getting to that first $1,000 felt like winning the lottery. Because for the first time in my life, I wasn't one emergency away from disaster. After 1,000, I aimed for 3 months of expenses. That took longer, but I got there. And once I had 3 months of expenses saved, everything changed. I could negotiate better at my job because I wasn't desperate. I could take calculated risks with my business because I had a safety net. I could breathe. That's what an emergency fund gives you. It gives you options. Step 6. Get serious about debt. If you've got debt, And let's be real, if you're starting from zero, you probably do. You need a strategy. I had 10,000 in student loans and 3,000 in credit card debt. And every month, the interest was eating me alive. I used the avalanche method. List all your debts by interest rate, highest to lowest. Make minimum payments on everything, but throw every extra dollar at the highest interest debt. For me, that was a credit card at 22% interest. I attacked that thing like it owed me money. Because technically, I owed it money, but you know what I mean. It took me 8 months to pay off that credit card. 8 months of putting every extra dollar toward it. But once it was gone, I took that same amount I was paying on the credit card and rolled it into the next debt. And then the next one. Within 2 years, I was completely debt-free. 2 years. From being 13,000 in debt to zero. And here's what nobody tells you about paying off debt. It's not just about the numbers. It's psychological. Every debt you eliminate is one less chain holding you back. One less payment you have to worry about. One less interest charge stealing your future. It's freedom. Literally. Step 7. Start investing, even with tiny amounts. Once I had my emergency fund and I was making progress on debt, I started investing. And I'm not talking about waiting until I had thousands of dollars. I started with $50 a month in a Roth IRA. $50. That's it. People think you need to be rich to invest. That's a lie poor people tell themselves to feel better about not investing. You can literally start with $5 on apps like Acorns or Robinhood. The amount doesn't matter at first. What matters is that you start. Because investing is a habit, and habits need to be built. I put my money in index funds, nothing fancy, no individual stocks, no trying to time the market, just boring, consistent index funds that track the overall market. And I automated it. Every month, $50 came out of my account and went straight into my Roth IRA. I didn't have to think about it. I didn't have to decide. It just happened. As I made more money, I increased it. 50 became 100. 100 became 250. 250 became 500. And now I max out my Roth IRA every year. But it started with $50 a month when I could barely afford it. That $50 has grown into thousands because of compound interest and time in the market. Step 8. Protect your energy and your circle. This is the one people don't talk about enough. When you're trying to restart your financial life, the people around you will either help you or hurt you. And you need to be ruthless about protecting your energy. I had friends who made fun of me for not going out. Family members who said I was being cheap. People who told me I was wasting my time with my side business. And you know what I did? I distanced myself. Not out of hate, but out of necessity. I couldn't afford to have their doubt in my ear when I was trying to build something. Instead, I found my people. I joined online communities of entrepreneurs. I followed people on social media who were where I wanted to be. I listened to podcasts about money and business during my commute. I surrounded myself with voices that believed what I was doing was possible, even when I had moments of doubt. Your environment shapes your mindset. Your mindset shapes your actions. Your actions shape your results. If you're around broke people with broke mindsets, you're going to stay broke. That's not judgment, that's just reality. Find people who are building what you want to build, even if it's just online, even if it's just through content you consume. Protect your mental space like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. Step 9. Track everything. I became obsessed with tracking my progress. I had a spreadsheet where I logged every dollar I made, every dollar I saved, every dollar I paid toward debt, every dollar I invested. Every single day I updated it, and every week I looked at my progress. This did 2 things. 1, it kept me accountable. When you see the numbers in black and white, you can't lie to yourself. You can't pretend you're doing better than you are. 2, it showed me progress. Even when it felt like I wasn't moving forward, I could look at my spreadsheet and see that 3 months ago I had $0 saved and now I had $600. That visual proof of progress kept me going on the days I wanted to quit. There are apps for this now. Mint, Personal Capital, YNAB. You can track everything automatically. But honestly, I liked my spreadsheet because I had to manually input everything. It made me conscious of every financial decision. It made me think before I spent. It made money real instead of just numbers disappearing from my account. Step 10. Give yourself grace. Here's the thing nobody tells you about restarting your financial life. You're going to mess up. You're going to have bad months. You're going to spend money on something dumb and feel guilty. You're going to have setbacks, and that's okay. I had months where I didn't hit my savings goals. I had moments where I impulse bought something I didn't need. I had times where I wanted to give up and just accept being broke forever. But the difference between succeeding and failing isn't perfection, it's persistence. When you mess up, acknowledge it, learn from it, and move on. Don't spiral. Don't let one bad decision turn into a bad week, turn into a bad month, turn into giving up entirely. This is a marathon, not a sprint. You're going to stumble. What matters is that you get back up and keep going. So let's talk about where I am now, 5 years later. I went from $0 to a six-figure net worth. I went from overdraft fees to multiple income streams. I went from paycheck to financial freedom. And I didn't do it because I'm special. I didn't do it because I got lucky. I did it because I made a decision that $0 was not my destiny. I worked gig jobs while building a skill. I lived below my means while everyone around me was flexing. I invested in myself when I barely had money to invest. I said no to everything that didn't serve my goals. I was disciplined when I wanted to be reckless. I delayed gratification for years so I could have freedom forever. And you can do the same thing. I don't care if you're starting with zero. I don't care if you're in debt. I don't care if you failed 10 times before. Today is a new day. Today is your day one. And day one is where every success story starts. Here's what I want you to do right now. Right this second. Take out your phone. Open your notes app. Write down 3 things. 1. Your current financial situation. Be brutally honest. Don't sugarcoat it. Write down exactly where you are. 2. Where you want to be in 1 year. Not 5 years. Not 10 years. 1 year. Make it specific. I want $5,000 saved. I want to be debt-free. I want to be making an extra $1,000 a month from a side business. 3. One action you're going to take this week to move toward that goal. Not tomorrow. Not next month. This week. That's it. That's your starting point. You know where you are. You know where you want to be. You know your first step. Everything else is just showing up and doing the work. Day after day, week after week, month after month, until one day you look up and realize you're not at zero anymore. You're building. You're growing. You're winning. I believe in you. I don't even know you, but I believe in you. Because I was you. I was broke. I was scared. I was overwhelmed. But I decided that my circumstances didn't get to determine my destiny. And you can make that same decision right now. If this video helped you, drop a comment telling me what your 1-year financial goal is. I want to see it. I want to celebrate with you when you hit it. And if you're serious about changing your financial life, subscribe because I'm posting more content like this every single week. Real talk, real strategies, no BS. Remember, $0 is just a number. It's not your identity. It's not your future. It's just your starting point. And every empire, every fortune, every success story started somewhere. Most of them started at zero. Just like you, just like me. Let's build. I'll see you in the next one.